Your boy's back with another video for Floki. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, with that being said, I am the most open-minded investor / NFT artist on YouTube with a diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, crypto-accepting capital, taking from specialized controls and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trends that allows us to believe in Jesus Christ and a fan of Gary and extremely well-educated and multilingual Korean, but with hair naturally curly than the average Asian male and highly coveted by many language daughters, also known as ALTCOIN. And so here we are looking at these beautiful three charts here. What is it? This is the Bitcoin chart. This is the Doge chart. This is the Floki chart. Okay, I can give you so many examples, but we're looking at the period, especially between that late September to early November bull run that we had at the end of last year. I want to compare how each of these coins did. So we had Bitcoin go from like early 40s to the late 60s. That's what happened. And it went up 71%. Okay, great. And we have another comparison of that same period, and Doge didn't do particularly well. They did only 71% as well. Now, Doge normally does better than that. So when Bitcoin jumps one step, Doge likes to jump two steps. I'm trying to show you a relationship between the volatility of altcoins versus Bitcoin. And it moves very similarly to how Bitcoin moves as well. Now, on that similar token, I have seen that Floki has jumped up 710%. Now, a lot of this has to do with maybe marketing. A lot of it has to do with just the market cap. But I'm just here to show that a lot of you are investing small amounts of money. And when you invest small amounts of money, if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, well, great. You can, I guess. Like, there's room for it to grow. Doge is already a massive, massive coin. And so if you're going to invest like $1,000 and you make 70%, I mean, 70% is not small, but if you make 70%, it's only going to take you to $1,700, in which case you're still freaking poor. Whereas if you invest $1,000 and then it goes up 700%, well, then you've made $7,000. Those are the opportunities that we're going for when we invest into Floki. And why did Doge do so well at the beginning of the year? I mean, the reason why I looked at January is because on TradingView, the Floki chart wasn't available to times any times before that. So I wanted to do like a, juxtapose all these comparisons for you guys. That's why I loaded this up. So if we go back in time a bit further and look into what actually happened with Floki, we will be able to see that there are more violent jumps that we're going to be able to see. So when it does dip, then it is helpful. So how much is it going to dip? Because we are suffering the hell through this dip that we're going through right now. So I opened up Floki's chart and I saw this thing, right? Which was the box that I had originally drawn there. And obviously it disappeared because I got rid of it on the other graph. I think I was making quite a lot of updates around the 8 to 9 mark and it's sort of showing as a bit of a support and resistance there. Of course, it broke below that because Bitcoin just went like buntard. It just broke itself. So now we're looking at the 3 zones at the moment. But as you can see, during those downs, very seldom will you see cryptocurrency go from top to bottom just in a straight line like that. It'll go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And these little ups you can get into, even on spot trading, even if you don't short the market, there are ways that you can actually capitalize on these quick and small gains. So see, that small jump was a whopping 28% right there. So people say, yo, how do I make short-term gains? Well, short-term gains are made during a bear market, I believe. Because during a bear market, these small jumps up, you go in, you get out, you go in and you get out. Now, when do you get in? Well, you get in at the RSIs. I think the RSIs are not a bad indicator. Right? So in the first dip, in the second dip, and the third dip, you could have dollar cost average into that. And on that jump, you would have made a bit of money. This little dip in the RSI down here, and that little climb there is a 27% as well. So when it does then peak out, you can also try to practice with some support and resistance lines with trend lines using RSIs as well. And those could be some good indicators for your trading too. Now, being where you are right now, okay, so the box that I drew beforehand, right, that I indicated before, right, that showed a correction of about 80%. But that's from the top of the week to where we are right now, okay? No, well, to where I made a lot of updates before. But really, we got to stretch down to where we are right now, and that's a whopping 90% decrease right there. Now, I thought I'd do a bit of comparison, okay? But before I get into it, what even is Floki Inu? If you're here and you've been watching my videos, you might already know what Floki Inu is, but I saw this tweet and I thought it'd summarize it really quickly, and this guy has a voice and a half, so you better listen to it.
Big news coming from the team behind Floki Inu. They announced plans to restructure to a decentralized organization, also known as a DAO. Floki is a meme coin that's quickly risen in popularity due to their aggressive marketing campaigns and drive to add value for their community. Developers shared 3 main factors that paved the way for this decision. First, transitioning to a DAO works to ensure that Floki sees more mainstream adoption and is able to list on mainstream centralized exchanges. Second, DAO structures are currently trending, with Binance Coin, whose symbol is BNB, adopting this model, as well as other major crypto exchanges announcing their intent to focus on a DAO structure. And lastly, the Floki team reports that transitioning to a DAO has always been a part of their business model. Next steps from Floki include a phased transition to this model, as well as providing token holders to influence key decisions by providing voting access to key Floki governance decisions.
All right. So short, sharp, and sweet. Floki is obviously working on a DAO at the moment. There are some issues with their tokens because they migrated a new contract, this and that, whatever. I'm sure those technical issues will iron out. Really, the point is to understand Floki as a marketing giant. It does a really good job at marketing. It is based on a meme that Elon Musk has produced. Of course, we know, a lot of us know that already. This particular video focuses on the recent DAO development, which is decentralized autonomous organization. Decentralization is the key to cryptocurrency, and it does bring a lot of eyeballs. People like decentralization. People like the DAOs. BNB is moving towards this direction. Of course, then, it makes sense for Floki to do it. Floki's done everything right, just not at the most earliest time frame, but it is doing everything right. So when Metaverse came out and NFTs were crazy, it announced Valhalla. And now that everyone's going on the DAO model, now it's moving on to the DAO model, right? So arguably, it is doing everything right. To me, the decentralization doesn't particularly matter so much because at the end of the day, things are driven by profits and money making. So if the centralized body can align that with the people that are investing into it, then I think centralization model could actually work moving forward. But that's just my opinion. So who cares if I'm right or wrong? It's just my opinion. But I do appreciate that the development of this DAO is something that is going to be well adopted, well received by the community. So all the fundamentals, right, are looking pretty good. So what the heck is the problem? Why then are we not seeing Floki go up in price, right? Well, it's predominantly because of Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin to actually climb up. So where is Bitcoin going to head? Well, it's anyone's guess right now. But a lot of you will remember that I actually have been making videos on Bitcoin and strategize on when I would rather buy into coins, right? What I'm looking for is a deep enough correction from the top. Let me give you an example. When you buy real estate, do you want to buy real estate when it's cheap or when you buy real estate when it's expensive, right? It's the same. They're all assets. So you'd rather buy it when they are cheap. Right? So Bitcoin, I think I've publicly announced this channel that I will be buying assets from about between 55 to 85% corrections. When Bitcoin does that, then I'll be buying into the altcoins, right? So why 55 to 85? Well, 85% has been the reasonable amount of correction every bear market there has been. So it'll go as far as 85% or even 90%. I think 85 is the limit usually. It'll go as low as 85% of the nearest top. And that's when the bottom is. We want to catch the bottom. That's what we want to do because we're in for quick and big gains in this market, especially in the crypto market. So when those things happen, am I going to invest into Bitcoin? Nah, I'm not going to invest in Bitcoin. I'm probably going to invest into something that's going to react more violently. So we've seen that example before with the three graphs next to each other. When Bitcoin dips, yeah, like other cryptocurrencies do a lot better because they're smaller and they're a lot more volatile. When the bottom of Bitcoin occurs, then likely, I'm not saying it's always the case, it is very likely that the bottom of that particular altcoin has occurred as well. And today, well, across the channel, we keep an eye on Floki because Floki has a lot of potential in that sense. It's small, it's got a lot of attention. And when the Bitcoin market blows off, all this new money that's going to come in, that I call that the dumb money, right? People will just like hear about cryptocurrency and they're like, it sounds like a good thing. So they jump straight in. So when they jump straight in, what are they going to jump straight into? They're going to jump straight into the most well-known token at that time. And Floki, for where it is going, right, in terms of its marketing and everything else, I feel like it's going to then be hitting that dumb money pretty well, which then the smarter ones like us, who are then getting into the market now as opposed to then, not saying this is a bottom right now, but now as opposed to then, will be in much better shoes. So then I decided to compare the results with Dogecoin a little bit. So Dogecoin probably had a massive peak back in 2017, aligning itself with the peak of Bitcoin. And back then we had the USD price of Bitcoin, which is in that blue line there, is 0.16. And as you can see, it dipped as low as 0.018, which is a whopping 90% correction. So what does that mean for Floki? So Floki Inu, if we see not the bar chart, not the candlestick chart, but if we actually saw the line chart, right, for Floki Inu, we are able to see that about right now, we're seeing that 90% correction right now. So it means without the Bitcoin chart having to absolutely moon out of here, right, we may see some bounces because of the fact that it's just purely undervalued. Same thing happened with Dogecoin here. Just keep an eye on the blue lines here. It did dip as close as that, from that massive peak, which is 0.016 to 0.02, which is almost a 90% correction. As low as it went was 18, so almost close to 90%. At those zones, we did have these small yet powerful bounces up to a particular level, right? And obviously it gravitated towards that. But at these levels, you will have plenty of times where your trades will be in profit. So I actually feel a lot more comfortable covering this coin around this time rather than covering this coin when it has just done 700% in gains. So that being said, right now Floki is from the nearest line chart. I'm obviously going to have to compare with line charts because, we don't consider the wick so much. Is at about 89% correction from the top. That is oddly satisfying to me. That is actually oddly satisfying to me. We can see that it is gravitating towards a low oversold RSI zones as well. So that when it then squeezes into that, there will be a jump that comes with it. What's going to cause that jump? It's going to be Bitcoin. That being said, Floki got everything right. What else can we look forward to in Floki? Well, it's the Valhalla. Currently, one of the biggest products in the team is pushing. It is a gaming metaverse that is playing a crucial role in making Floki Inu the biggest pay-to-earn gaming platform. The listing of the Floki token is in a number of exchanges, has been part of the news updates that the team has released. Floki just listed on Liquid Global Official. That's another thing as well. I expect to see Floki getting listed on major exchanges, and that'll be another catalyst for the absolute mooning of Floki. As long as the Floki team doesn't disappear, and no one can tell the future on this, but seemingly to me, I don't think Floki's team is one that's going to completely disappear out of nowhere. The news coverage on Time Wonderland was a bit interesting. There was like a complete scammer with a different identity came out. But those things you just simply cannot foresee. So when I say that Floki's team is good, there aren't particularly any red flags. But could there be something that, like a white, black swan event like this? Well, who knows? Black swan events are black swan events. We can never foresee them. But that's part of the risk that we play into this game. And especially if you're playing small amounts of money into cryptocurrency, I think this will be a good coin for you to focus on. No, I'm not sponsored by this content. I wish they did. If you feel like I should be getting paid by this, please reach out to them and make them send me tons of money so that I can be more frequent with my updates to you, so that a lot of you guys could get some composure by watching my channel. All right, boys and girls, that's the update. If you haven't done so, make sure you go follow on my social channels. I've been a bit slack posting not only on this channel, but also on my TikTok as well. But I will not disappoint you. Moving forward, I will be posting a lot more. I am working on a different podcast at the moment, so that's what's going on. If you haven't done so, go make sure you mint my NFT. It's called deoxyribonucleic acid. Go and mint that. drna.club is our website. Like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.